So, over the holidays, I sat down and enjoyed Mafia the Old Country. I had a pretty good time with it, and by the time I rolled credits, I realized something about this game. It's nothing special. It's also pretty short by modern game standards. The average person would listen to what I say and think I'm saying that as a negative, as if it's just something I should look past and the game wasn't really worth it. But this game made me realize all those things I just said are really good things. That's not to say that games that are special aren't worth it, because of course they are. That's just common sense. But in today's modern gaming landscape, so many companies are trying to fight for your time and interest and get those Game of the Year awards or get those playtime numbers out of you so you can spend more microtransaction money and bring up profits, or just have a game with lots of replay value and game time to justify the price. But Mafia the Old Country was a game that knew what it wanted to be, knew what it wanted to accomplish, and just did it. It didn't care about making a detailed and beautiful open world. It didn't care about replay value. It didn't care about all this stuff that so many games fight over.
This is so fucking hard to beat. I'm no expert, but that would kill the average Italian man.
And while all those things are a great thing to have in a game, you don't always need them. I loved Mafia the Old Country for the fact that it told a tight, on-the-rails story with great characters, and it made me feel something. This game wants you to do things its way. Not your way, but its way. And that's not a bad thing at all. It was actually really enjoyable and kept me engaged with the characters, the story, and all the above. The cutscenes have so much effort put into them. The mission design is great and had me engaged throughout the majority of the game. And while not everything was perfect, this game's ending pisses me off.
You know, I heard Italian men actually did this in the early 1900s. It's, some kind of mating ritual.
It was still a worthwhile 8 out of 10 experience.
Take away his license now.
This game's only 12 hours long, but it took me about a week to finish, mostly because I'm a normal person. But the sentiment around the internet is that games need to be as long as possible. You need to get the most time investment for your buck. But what people don't realize is that this kind of thought process comes from either basement dwellers or streamers whose job is to play video games for 12 hours a day.
What a fucking nick.
And believe it or not, most people are incapable of forming their own opinions and just listen to streamers. So let me give you my perspective. I'm a person who recently quit a job that had me working over 11 hours a day. I wake up at 6 a.m., I get home at 6 p.m. Most of the time, I don't even want to play a video game by the time I'm home. But when I do, I want to feel a sense of accomplishment. I want that 2 hours of gaming before bed to mean something, instead of just being a repetitive grind to get to the next thing. Or going through a lot of boring missions just so next time I play, I'm closer to the mission I actually want to play. Even if you have a game that's genuinely well received and is a huge open world RPG, I'm still getting distracted and overwhelmed at every moment over all the side quests, all the things you find on your way. Meanwhile, a game like Mafia has one clear objective, one clear thing to do, and it's always being told to you, and you're just experiencing a well-crafted story while doing it. Even after beating the main story, there's still stuff to do. I can hunt the rest of the trophies, I could try the free roam mode that they added, and although that's not a ton of content, I could still squeeze a few more hours out of this only $50 purchase. Considering it took me a week to beat this game as a normal person with a life, I'd say that's a pretty good value for $50. And don't get me wrong, my favorite games of all time are Persona 5, which is infamously over 100 hours for the main story, or Expedition 33, which is a more middle ground length. But in a time where devs are afraid to make these smaller, more focused experiences, I value this game a lot. A lot of games during the old generation of consoles like Xbox 360 used to be experiences like this. You play through the game and you're done. No extra bullshit DLCs, no crazy add-ons that just keep sucking up your time. It's just done. You enjoy what the developers created and you move on. You got Ubisoft over here, and yes, I know I shit on them a lot, but they make it way too fucking easy. Trying to create so much longevity out of a single-player game when they could just make a focused experience like this, and people will remember it a lot more fondly. Mafia: The Old Country could have easily thrown you into a giant open-world map with different targets to get that would eventually progress the main story like it does in Assassin's Creed. Or Mafia 3, but look how that worked for them. Right now, I have some friends up my ass telling me to play Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, and I haven't even played the first one. I'm a person who wants to experience everything when it comes to story games like this, and the 50-hour playtime of both these games is really putting me off this at the moment. I find myself being more inclined to go play something like Doom, which is like a 12-hour game, or replay Spider-Man Miles Morales, which is even shorter. This all has to do with the sense of accomplishment you feel playing a game. As I'm sure the Kingdom Come games are great games, I'm sure I'll have a few play sessions where I'm just grinding for something or looking for something and it doesn't feel that fulfilling. I'm sure I'll enjoy the game overall, but it's going to take multiple play sessions to get through it all. And while I'm sure I'll remember the journey, appreciate it, and remember it as a good game or even a masterpiece, sometimes I just value these short experiences where I go through it in a short amount of time and remember and value the whole thing. It's simply not possible to make every single second of a 100-hour game engaging all the way through. But it is with a 12-hour game. It's hard, but it's still possible. You know it's saying something when a 12-hour Mafia story impacted me more and made me remember more things about it than the 60-hour, huge, multi-million-dollar budget Assassin's Creed game. And sure, maybe I'm comparing apples to oranges, but it still says something. Because Assassin's Creed was once that 12-hour game with a tight, focused experience where I remember everything about it. Price point makes a huge difference too. They could have easily made Mafia: The Old Country $70 and just said, hey, this is the game. But they made it $50, because they understood the scope of their own game and what it was setting out to do. Nothing more, nothing less. And I appreciate the fuck out of that. So many AAA developers need their big blockbuster game to make millions of dollars, not just in sales, but microtransactions too, and boast to their investors about how much playtime the players are investing in their games. But it's just so simple to sit down and create something you want to create and for someone to enjoy and remember fondly.
How long can I do this for? Oh, okay.
Mafia: The Old Country doesn't give you a reason to come back. It gives you a reason to come in and then leave. And that's all a game needs to do sometimes. So please, if you're a gamer that values huge open worlds with hours and hours of playtimes, you can continue to enjoy that. But don't let that turn you off from shorter games. Because I promise you, you're missing out on some masterpieces. Unless you're trying to play a Sonic game, then, good fucking luck.
You just can't control these cars. Like, good luck just trying to control anything.